everybody, we're going to go ahead and get started with the talks. As much of a nail biter as the ball game was, I don't think it's going to get any closer here. So, I mean, just 9 more. Right. So anyway, for those of you guys that don't know me, which is none of you, I don't think at this point, I'm Matt. I work here at Bright Cove, who have been kind enough to keep letting me buy pizza and beer and let you guys hang out here. So
thank you.
So thanks, corporate overlords. So anyway, tonight we've got Leith from Coursera and Alex from Google. And so I'm really excited about these talks. But anyway, Leith's going to start off from the Coursera team. And so we've got microphones for the first time ever, so we might actually get usable video this month, which I'm really excited about. So as speakers, when questions get asked, I don't think we're really going to get any ambient noise because of the mic's placement. So just repeat as much as you can before answering.
Sure.
Just going to make things sensible. But anyway, as usual, feel free to grab beer. But
great. All right. Thank you. John is also here from Coursera. We're both web developers. I know this is an SF video technology meetup, but we're on the other end of the video actually using it. So we actually know very little about video technology versus the problems that we face. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the history of the things that we've seen at Coursera and what we've tried to do with it. So if we did it all wrong, please talk to me afterwards. Happy to learn more. Coursera is an online platform for education. We aim to make the world's best content universally accessible to as many people as possible. We do this by building large learning communities and through video. We've been around for almost 3 years. We've learned a lot through our mistakes, and we have a lot of exciting places that we'd like to take video in the future as we learn more about bringing video on the web and mobile. My name is Leith. I work at Coursera on the Learning Experience team. We have built our newest video player on kind of Coursera 2.0. We have about 10 new courses launched in this new platform. And so we built the newest video player amongst many other aspects of the platform. I'm going to focus on the video player today. So all good stories have a beginning, so let's start there. From 3 years ago with an early decision of how we decided to display videos on our course platform. We were using a video player that was very problematic. It needed isolation. We didn't know too much about it, and we didn't know how to handle all the cases. So we got it working, got it stable, and then we threw it in an iframe because it provided us the isolation that we needed. It's a great idea.
Can you name the video player?
Media Element JS. But this was 3 years ago, so things were very different. Even Video.js was very different. So all of Coursera's videos were wrapped in this iframe force field. It protected us from evil. It also protected us from our own selves. It allowed us to quickly build Coursera's platform apart from the video player itself. The state of HTML5 video wasn't actually that great back then, and so no one really complained about this format that we had. So here's an example. You can actually see it in some of our courses today. We made the iframe pop up on the page when a learner wanted to watch a video, and we were quickly able to build up other parts of the platform without fighting the video battle that was raging on in the cross-browser lands. Despite this confusion about our web media player, it did give us a lot of things that just kind of out of the box. Playback, progress, volume, captions, and most importantly, flash fallback. Unfortunately, it fell back very often. Eventually, we started to prioritize Flash over HTML5 because of just the problems and we weren't sure how to handle it. And remember, Coursera's focus at that point in time was just scaling. We were getting a lot of courses, getting a lot of content, getting a lot of learners. We wanted to push forward as fast as possible. When it didn't work, we just used Flash, and that was kind of our answer. However, the temptation to not mess with the video player and the iframe, especially how important it is for online education, was too strong. We wanted to innovate on the video interactions between our platform and what you could do with the video. And even the great wall of the iframe wasn't enough to keep us away. Thus, global variables that allowed the parent page to talk to our code that we had set up in the iframe started to slip through one by one. And so you see here is that we added a magical bar of video interactions right below the already existing bar of magical interactions that Media Element JS provided us. But we introduced great things like video playback rates, discussion links, sharing links, navigations to the previous next videos within the course outline, a settings menu, and most importantly, in-video quizzes. This will allow you to assess yourself while watching a video. This would pop up at certain points during the video. However, it made many things possible, but still stopped a lot of iterations in its tracks. He got it working, got it stable, and there were no tests, not a lot of modularity, and so again, we had to kind of focus on other parts on the platform, like discussion forums and working with our content partners. When I first joined Coursera, I decided, I didn't like this and I wanted to do something about it, so my secret side project was to make the video player responsive and try to break it out. It was a battle against me and some poorly maintained code in the iframe. So the iframe won. And then a couple months later, the iframe showed no mercy when the next employee, Pamela Fox, tried to take it on. And then many, many months later, the iframe kept winning, as John will begrudgingly attest to. So this was the dark ages for Coursera's video UI. No developer wanted to go near the video player. We had made our bed and we had to sleep on it. So it was a dark age for our engineers, but it was not for our learners. We had millions of learners watching our videos, and some of them were actually getting full certificates. These are like college-level courses, some of them. They did, however, request video player improvements, and we learned a lot from them. We acknowledged that these improvements, we wanted to make them, and then we promptly walked it away from them because we realized we couldn't do it. Most famous was a long-standing bug that when you let the video player pause for 20 minutes, and then you walk away and then come back, there's just no way to resume the video. No matter how hard you tried. And since we didn't support auto restore either, your progress was completely gone, and you can imagine it was slightly frustrating to many of our users. But the world was moving to mobile, and we were investing in it as well. We quickly built a mobile team and started to prepare our launch for Android and iOS. However, in testing, we quickly learned that our videos were not mobile friendly because we didn't support streaming. We merely had MPEGs that required buffering and downloading. It worked on the web, but in the mobile world, especially on networks, it was not okay. We needed streaming formats like HLS and MPEG-Dash. There were huge improvements to the user experience, and in fact, Apple itself requires it before we were able to even launch the Coursera app on iOS. So as a result, looking at kind of the needs of where we wanted to go, and we needed mobile, many of us saw an opportunity to start rethinking and kind of learn from the lessons that we have of our current video pipeline and its platform. So we retooled our transcoder, we fixed many old bugs, renegotiated contracts with another company, Transload It, and we started producing a number of resolutions, 720p, 360p, audio only if your network was really bad, and most importantly, the HLS files themselves. We took the opportunity to do everything from scratch. We redid the folder structure of how we actually stored these files, created thumbnails for our video files even. We didn't have uses for them, but we were preparing for the future and all the things that we wanted to do that we really couldn't because of the environment we set up for ourselves. We were learning a lot. We wrote blogs about the HLS format. We have one on our tech blog. And we spread the knowledge to others in terms of just what we were learning. We found many other people that weren't experts as well, and this was very useful to them. So this marked the beginning of Coursera's video renaissance. We were rethinking everything, and we were making progress with really big changes. Much thanks to John, who led the way. He came in as a front engineer, but everyone knew him actually as a sole member of the unofficial video team, whether he liked it or not. We were rethinking everything, so we decided for the video player, it was also time to rethink that. Video.js was definitely on top of our list. We tried many others, actually. Video.js, at the end of the day, had the community, the open sourciness, the test, the modularity, and most importantly, the extensibility that we were looking for. Once we got everything working, we immediately went on a rampage of creativity. We rebuilt and rethought everything about our video UI. We crushed the iframe immediately, at least for our new platform, and we brought the video onto the video page itself and quickly built up from there. So I'm going to start talking about what we actually have in our new course platform. We launched, one of the first course that we launched was Stanford's Child Nutrition course, and so this is a blown up image of the video player. The first thing we did is we themed it. We themed it to match the style of our new mobile app. So you can imagine our designers were really happy, so we had one consistent style. Then we took advantage of almost every feature offered by Video.js out of the box. But next we started adding our own plugins, and we even tried and attempted contributing back some of them that made sense upstream. The first one was allowing users to watch Coursera at 1.5 to 2 times the speed. We were quick to add that playback rate plugin because it's representative of how many of our users actually watch online educational videos. Next up, we added a Next Up plugin. We ran A/B tests immediately to understand how effective this was, and we have some work to do. We were quick to add in a marker plugin because we wanted to notify users and capture attention to certain parts of the timeline, and we immediately rebuilt the in-video quiz. It's an important part of the assessment aspect of our platform. We even added a fun plugin that we wanted ourselves, like the Chromecast plugin. We can finally get our learning on the big screen, so this was really exciting for us. We also did this on our mobile apps as well. Many more updates were added. Just recently, an intern added the ability to resume your progress in a video across the same browser, just using local storage. So this was a big win for our users. We have a lot of data suggests that this happens quite a bit. It's almost 2015, and the state of HTML5 video playing is actually a lot better than it was 2.5 years ago. Looking forward, there's a lot of exciting interfaces and technologies for us to explore as we aim to improve and better understand how our learners are learning. So we're going to talk about some of the ideas that we're actually interested in talking about today. One impact that we'd like to kind of explore is trying to make use of video streaming on our website and not just on the mobile apps. Accessible education is really important to Coursera. With a large number of users on slower internet speeds, and especially our international users, streaming videos can go a long way to offering a better user experience. Unfortunately, HLS is only supported on iOS, advanced Android devices, and desktop Safari. MPEG-Dash, however, is a future contender, but there's still a lot of players that haven't figured it out right now. Microsoft actually is supporting the development of a library called Dash.js, which brings MPEG-Dash playability to most browsers. So that's something we'd like to look into if we didn't have to wait too long. I talked
already for Video.js if you're curious.
Good.
Yes.
And upstream right now?
Yeah.
Okay, good to know. All right, I'm going to take that slide out. I've talked about how watching videos at 2 times the speed is very commonly used feature on Coursera, but sometimes our professors speak really slowly, and 3 to 4 times the speed actually might be worth exploring. But we need to require some audio processing to avoid our professors from sounding like chipmunks. So as of now, mixing video with new audio streams is actually a little bit non-trivial without kind of retooling the entire video and having entirely different video files.
So is that you're doing 3x not with the built-in rescaling because it doesn't support it, or just because it doesn't sound good?
It doesn't sound good.
Okay.
Yeah.
It also is not supported.
It's not supported?
Above 2x?
Yeah, in HTML.
File a bug on crBug.com and come up with a better algorithm.
Okay.
That'd be great. Yeah, this actually happens for a number of our courses. There are some slow-speaking professors out there. Once we can crack that nut, however, it opens up something even bigger, which is mixing in other audio streams that allows us to work dubbing our videos in other languages. We have a lot of international users, and they rely very heavily on the subtitles when taking the course. The experience is very different, though. You can't ever look away from the video, and you have to read the entire time. That's very different for English users. Our course population, for depending on certain courses, is half or even more international students. So this is a big deal for us. And as more of our users move across devices when using Coursera, saving video progress not just on their browser, but also across devices is important, but we need to use a central storage of ours rather than the browser storage. And so here's an idea that my team is actually looking into right now, the learning experience team in particular. We want to have discussions associated with the video itself rather than a separate kind of forum where you can just talk about just random things and you have to figure out in terms of the hierarchy of forums, figuring out rather just doing it right underneath the video. But once we start doing that, I know that we're going to start seeing learners wanting to reference points in the video rather than just the entire video itself. Unlike SoundCloud, we don't think that we don't want to be able to reference like a point in a particular video, but a series of points, so a segment. So this requires thinking about how we build that interface and how we build that interaction and what new products can kind of come out of that. Yahoo has actually explored this really well. I actually like their app that John brought to my attention called Loops. Loops allows you to make animated GIFs of an existing sports clip. So they have this neat interaction of how you can kind of specify what particular area that you want. You turn it into an animated GIF, you add a funny caption, bam, goes viral. If there's anything else that I want to see in Coursera, it's a viral GIF from our machine learning class. So in the end, as we can start to identify segments, we could start to build a complementary feedback loop for our professors. So this is something that we're actually working on right now. And this allows instructors to know about the health of their course. And if we can start to identify segments and look at learner engagement with those segments, they can start to determine if they need to provide clarity on a particular point in the video or the entire video, or just more information, maybe an additional video, or if they just need to be more engaging and they're a little bit boring, and this is kind of the way of telling them that. We don't want just learners learning on our platform. This is something a lot of people don't know about Coursera, but we also want our instructors learning too, so they can make education better for their own learners. So we got many more ideas like this waiting to be worked on, and if you got answers, and there were some in the crowd already, and so that's great. I'm glad we came. Please talk to me or John. We're tackling these issues now, and we're growing the team to help us do that. So that's all I have. Thank you for your time, and I'm happy to take any questions.